You journeyed from session 1 to session 5 of the Healing Your Mother Wound journey. And I couldn't be more proud of you, of the work that you've done so far. The homework, listening to the live, being able to take note in your Healing the Mother Wound downloadable journal. I'm just so incredibly proud of you. Great job. Session 5 is where you get to take a deep breath in the nose, out of the mouth, and really give yourself an opportunity to create what moving forward looks like. That's exactly what's in session 5. So session 5 is about creating what moving forward looks like by allowing boundaries and clear communication about what it is that you need as you continue to unfold, unpack, and become your highest reflection of self possible. So let's get to session 5, and then there's some bonuses at the end. Congratulations on getting this far. I'm so proud of you, and I look forward to hearing what your greatest takeaways are as a result of completing the Healing Your Mother Wound journey. So there's two books I've been referencing, right? As we start session 5 of the Healing Your Mother Wound. So these two books are the books I've been referencing: Toxic Parents by Susan Ford, and Reconciliation. And I always mess up his name, but I'm going to say Thich Nhat Hanh. I hope I got it right. Thich Nhat Hanh. Okay? Or Thich Hot. I don't believe that's hat. I believe it's hot if the N is silent. Han. Okay? So Reconciliation, Healing the Inner Child, right? You can take a screenshot of that. And Toxic Parents. So I purchased these books at two separate times in my life, but this particular book was the first that really helped me to know that I wasn't by myself, that I wasn't crazy to think that it wasn't okay for my mom's behavior to be what it was, and that she could continue in my adult life, even though it wasn't the exact same. And so this book helped to make the difference. Today, as we round out this session in terms of how to move forward, right? We're talking about how to move forward in your Healing Your Mother Wound. Because what I've shared over the last 4 days is not enough to completely heal your journey, but it is enough to get you started, right? These are tools that you can use to get you started. Hiring a therapist, a coach who specializes in this type of thing, right? Because there's several coaches who specialize in trauma. There's several coaches who specialize in healing the mother wound, healing the parent wound. But there's also therapists. And depending on how severe your situation is, you will know, okay, I need somebody who is a little bit heavier, got a little bit more that you'll know when you need that. And so I would say, if you have a therapist already, don't feel ashamed to call. Please get you a therapist. I have a therapist. I just saw mine on Wednesday, and love my therapist. Has helped me tremendously with all areas of my life. And so today, as we talk about today's session, is about moving forward. This isn't about moving forward in forgiving your mom, right? We're going to talk about dads next month, but this isn't about moving forward and to forgive your mom. This is about moving forward in your healing process. And as you heal, knowing that forgiveness of your mom will come organically and at its right time. It won't be faked, forced, or fronted, right? You won't be doing it just to get along. You won't be doing it just to fill the void, or just to move forward in the family, or just so that she's not mad at you, or just so that your siblings aren't mad, or whatever the thing is, just so that you feel better about this ache and pain that you have. And if you haven't watched over the last 4 sessions, go back, use this time today. Somebody said they're taking time tomorrow. I got something special for y'all tomorrow. Y'all ain't even ready for tomorrow. I never go live on Sundays. I'm going live tomorrow because it's going to be amazing. I'm going to share at the end of this what you can expect from tomorrow, but oh my God. So number 1, in order for you to move forward, number 1, somebody type this in the comments for me. Number 1, hey, Ashley, hey, Tracy Ann, good to see y'all. Number 1, you have to be committed to your healing process, committed and consistent. So number 1, be committed and consistent to your healing process, right? So now somebody type that in the comments for me. What I mean by committed and consistent, you get to determine what consistency looks like for you. right? So the reason why commitment and consistency go together is because commitment helps you to be consistent in your process. It helps you. And what I mean about consistent is to keep going, right? To create a rhythm and a pattern to keep moving forward. So committed, right, is a mindset. You have to decide, especially if you are a parent yourself. If you take on any type of parent role, if you take on an uncle role, an auntie role, godmother, godfather, if you take on grandfather, grandmother, if you take on auntie, uncle, if you take on big sister, big brother, whatever type of leading role in somebody's life that you take, you have to be committed and consistent to your own healing process. That is the only way that the people that you love will get the best out of you. Right? If you're an auntie, your nieces and nephew need the best out of you. If you're a grandma, your grandkids need the best out of you. And grandpa, if you're a mother, father, your people need the best out of you, right? And even if you don't take on those roles, say you're single, right? Say you don't have any family that you're connected to, your peace, your job, your ability to show up and create the life that you wanted to live in this life depends on it. So you have to stay committed and consistent. Hey, Samantha, good to see you. You have to be committed and consistent to it. I appreciate you guys commenting. Thank you so much. So that's number one. You have to be committed and consistent. And hear this, consistency is not about perfection. Consistency is not about perfection, right? Consistency is about majority rules. What are you doing? This is Coach P's definition. What are you doing the majority of the time? The majority of the time, because you're not going to be doing this all the time, right? But you're consistent with it. What are you doing the majority of the time? Are you pouring into yourself to become a better person the majority of the time? No, you're not going to do this every single day, right? But you will be consistent, right? Because you know how important it is. My consistency has evolved as I've gotten older and as I've healed even more, because it's a complete game changer for me. Because the more I heal, the better I feel, the more I want to heal, right? The more I heal, the better I feel, the more I want to heal. Somebody type that in the comments. The more I heal, the better I feel, the more I want to heal. That is the journey. That's what happens. It's like the more you drink water, the thirstier you get, the more water you want to drink. Right? That's how it goes. Because your body's like, keep giving me that good thing. Keep giving me that good thing. And so does your mindset. So does your soul. So does your inner child. Being committed and building relationship with your inner child is a game changer, right? And so the reparenting piece of being committed and consistent is important. And again, you can go through that with a therapist or with a coach or with a trusted group of people, right? But being able to show up in this space to do the reparenting work, right? To reparent, remother yourself is going to be paramount, right? So number two is continue reparenting your inner child. Number two, continue reparenting, remothering, right? Continue mothering your inner child. I mother myself on a regular basis. Me and my mom have a relationship, but she cannot, because she doesn't have the capacity, because she's still healing from her childhood stuff, mother me. Now, it took me a while to be okay with that, but I was able to get to that place, and I'm there now, where it doesn't feel like more abandonment, more neglect, more blah, 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 because she's only focused on herself. Right, especially in the times where she wasn't consciously healing, where she wasn't intentionally healing, and was, getting all her lessons vicariously through me. I was like, ho, you're draining me, right? And so it took me to take a pause on giving that to her and trying to be her coach, right? Trying to be her mother and really take the time to reparent me. So number two, continue reparenting, remothering, right? Continue mothering. That's the operative word. Continue mothering. Because it's going to look different when we talk about fathering, right? But continue, or healing the father wound. But continue mothering your own self, right? Number three, create and practice in boundaries. Remember, boundaries are not about keeping people out. It's not about keeping your mother out, but it's about keeping self-love in, right? So create and practice boundaries. Right? It's important. It's super duper important, because without you creating and practicing in your boundaries, you will find yourself getting rewounded, sometimes by mother, even if she's not alive, sometimes by people who represent her, who have her characteristics in your life. It could be a boss, it could be a lover, no matter if it's male or female lover, they both can have the characteristics of your mother. It could be a friend. It could be your best friend that you've had for years and you finally woke up and realized this person represents my mama. It could be characteristics of my mama. It could be, again, your boss at work. It could be anybody, right? It could be any of those people, but creating those boundaries says, hey, I can't talk about that right now. Or no, you don't get to talk about my weight. I'm gonna call you back, right? And you choosing to call back when you want to. Boundaries look like you being able to say, no, I'm not gonna show up for that thing today. I appreciate y'all, right? Like whatever it takes for you to keep your self-love in, to keep your peace in, to keep your understanding in, to keep your grounded and rootedness in, that is yours for the taking. That is yours for the taking. You do not have to go alone to get along. I used to be that person. I used to go to my grandma's house just because. I used to sit on the phone with my mama, talk about stuff just because, right? And then when I realized how it affected me, just the other day we were on the phone, we were talking about this, about the mothering womb, because she's been in the comments commenting, she's listening and all this other stuff, and she's expanding as a result of it. And she was telling me about, as soon as we got on the phone, she was like, I was like, hello. She was like, girl, I forgot to tell you. And she starts telling me about a problem that she was having. And she's like, well, I'm better now, but I was calling you to tell you what happened. But now since, you know, it was some time before you called me back, I'm better. And I said, well, I'm glad you're better. But, and so then she said, I was watching your live and I'm so proud of you. You know, you really helping me out. I mean, like, I need this work, you know. Does this make you tired? Do you get exhausted after these sessions? And I said, yeah, I do, which is why you can't call me with your problems. And she said, huh? I said, yes, I do get tired. And I am emotionally exhausted after each session of the Healing Your Mother Wound, because I'm pouring out, right? Which is why you can't call me with your problems, because I'm already tapped. And even if I wasn't, like, call me and let me know when it's resolved, because you can't keep pulling that out of me. You can't keep using me to resolve your issue. And she was like, but I did call you after we did talk after it was resolved. Well, no, you called me before it was resolved. And I'm saying, if it's resolved, what are we talking about? Because I don't want you dumping on me. It doesn't make me feel good for you to be dumping on me. And she was like, I get it. I get it. Okay, my bad. Anyway, I loved your live, and she jumped right in, and it felt good. Now, it wasn't always that easy for me to say how I felt, but this is the practice. This is what we've done all this time. This is how we've gotten to this place. It was not easy, but once we got here and we were able to move in this space, it made a difference. Type in the comments, Coach P, I got it. Type in the comments, Coach P, I got it. Let me know that you got it. And so those are the three. Before we go any further, because I got two more for you. But those are the three. Let me know you got it. Let me know you got it. I see you, Ashley. I see you, Jill. Hey, girl. Hey, good morning or good afternoon. I see you, Courtney said very important. I see you, Samantha. Yes, 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 yes. Tracy Ann, I see you. Tracy Ann said, Coach P, I got it. Perfect. Just want to make sure everybody got it before I move forward. That part of it is so important. And here's what I would like to also say too. I recognize that when it comes, hey, Donna, good to see you. I recognize that when it comes to parents, it's not always easy to set boundaries, because the fear comes from your inner child. The fear comes from that small part of you that doesn't feel like they have a right to say, hey, you don't get to talk to me like that, Mom. You don't get to cross that boundary, Mom. You don't get to say that, Mom, and still be in love and respect. Because we were taught that when we show up in that space, that we're being disrespectful. That's what we were taught as kids. And so that's been carried out through adulthood, that you're being disrespectful when you speak up and out. And that's not the case at all. You get to speak up and out. All right, so let me see what y'all saying. Samantha says she got it. Danielle says she got it. Donna says she got it. Courtney said he got it. So Ashley says, I got it. And I'm killing myself laughing because I could see the look on her face when you said it. I love y'all. Yes, you already know, Ashley. Mama was like, huh? What? Even though she's accustomed to me talking like this, sometimes it still catches her off guard. She's like, I don't know how I missed this. But it's a part of the relationship. All right, so number 4, communicate, right? Communicate. Be willing to communicate with the people that love and support you, that are around you. It's super duper important to be willing to communicate with the people who love and support you, because they may not know how to support you. They may not know what you need, but it doesn't mean that they don't want to support you. It doesn't mean that they're not fit to support you. It doesn't mean that they're not willing to support you. They just may not know how. I have a dear friend who is familiar with my story, but was sending me something that, you know, she thought was funny on Instagram. And in the video, it was a guy talking about being raped or about being gay or something like that, and it mentioned rape. And when she sent it to me, initially she thought it was this funny thing, and then when I responded back, I said, hey, first of all, when I saw it, it made me cringe on the inside. The person who was talking looked like the guy who had molested me, and so it made me cringe. And I was gonna like ignore it and not say anything to her because I didn't want to make her feel bad about, you know, bringing something to me like that, because she wasn't really mindful of how that might make me feel. But because I value and honor myself, and I value and honor my own journey, I said to her, I messaged her back and said, hey, listen, if it wasn't for the fact that I had this experience, I may have seen this differently, maybe not, but you know, and I'm giving y'all the short of it. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I basically let her know, like, this ain't the job. This ain't something that I can laugh at or laugh about. And she immediately apologized. She's like, oh my God, P, I wasn't even thinking from that perspective. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for not being mindful of that. You know, and I told her, hey, it's okay. I understand, you know, how you weren't mindful of it. But thank you for understanding that this is not okay for me. And so those conversations can be awkward, and they can be hard to have. And I recognize that, but you do have to communicate with people about where you are and what you need, because you're going to become more sensitive than you normally are. If you have a lover, right? Men, women, no matter your sexual orientation or your own gender, right? It does not matter. You are human. And as you go through this journey, you're going to need the support. And so if you are in a relationship and your lover is the person who you could consistently communicate with on a regular basis, then you may want to let them know, like, hey, listen, I'm going to need some extra attention. I'm going to need some extra hugs. I'm going to need some extra love, or I'm going to need some extra space. I'm going to need some more alone time. I want you to know it's not anything to do with you. I'm going through this healing journey. I'm personally developing, and I'm having to upheaval some of the stuff that I've experienced in my childhood. And this is what I need from you to support me in this. So communicate. I communicate with my 16-year-old. She knows, I shared this with y'all in yesterday's session, that, hey, Britt, you know, I'm going to be in bed all day because I'm doing some personal development work, and this is what I need. And so my mom called her that particular day. This was a few weeks ago. And she's like, hey, how's your mom doing? I tried to call her, but I hadn't heard from her. And Brittany said, mommy's doing personal development, because I had my phone off. Completely, I communicated with the person in the house with me, but I wanted to just completely cut everything else off, and I did. And Brittany said, oh, mommy's doing personal development. She understands it, right? So she checked in. Hey, mom, you good? You need anything? So being able to give the people who love and support you a chance to love and support you, even your children, in a capacity that doesn't overburden them, is important. Hey, Sarah, good to see you. Glad y'all getting it. Yes, yes, yes. So number 5 is implement self-love rituals. Implement self-love rituals. So self-love rituals are things like working out, journaling, hiring a therapist, a coach, eating well, right? For me, a self-love ritual is eating whole foods. So if y'all watch my stories, my Facebook stories or Instagram stories, then y'all will see me eating like a lot from Kill Me Crazy with my avocado toast or my green juice or whatever the case may be, because that's a part of self-love for me, is being able to eat the best foods. And not every single day do I meet that. Sometimes it's fried fish. Sometimes it's a bag of Cape Cod salt and vinegar potato chips. If you ever want to buy me salt and vinegar, only get Cape Cod. If you're thinking about dill pickle, get the Tom's version. What's the name of it? Dang, I don't forget. It's not Tom's though, but you know it's the Tom's sister brand of the dill pickle with the white background. Anyway, it depends on what that looks like for you. But implementing your self-love rituals and practices are important. It could look like meditation, lighting candles. Mine is also fresh flowers. I love fresh flowers, so I buy them for myself weekly. When y'all see them in the background, it ain't because, you know what I'm saying, some sexy chocolate done did it, although I will welcome the day when that happens. But this is my ritual to myself to remind myself that, hey, you're worthy. You're so beautiful. Also, self-love for me, a self-love ritual for me is mirror talk. Every morning when I wake up, if I'm naked, especially, I look at my body. I look at my breasts. They don't sit up like they used to, but they still do what they do. So I look at my breasts, my stomach, the dimples in my butt, everything, right? And I'm like, hey, I love you. I love every part of you, your curves, your smiling faces, all that stuff. Like, I love you. And I see you and I hear you, right? Like, being able to do all of that, being able to stay committed to my workout, keeping a small promise to myself every day is a part of self-love. And also keeping a small promise to yourself every day helps to build your self-confidence and your self-trust. So if you were taught to betray what you felt as a little kid in your mother relationship, then you probably have a significant amount of self-doubt. You don't trust what you're feeling. You don't trust if this is right. So you might find yourself second guessing a lot, or wondering if you're doing the right thing, or feeling anxiety when it's time for you to step out without somebody confirming that you're doing it right, or that it's perfect. Then you want to be able to keep those small promises to yourself to build that self-confidence and that self-trust back up. And so those are the 5 ways for you to continue to do this work. I'm going to be releasing something very special that takes you deeper into this work. But those are the 5 ways that you can continue to do this work. Now, tomorrow is Mother's Day, and I will have a special guest during tomorrow's live that is going to really help bring this whole thing home. My mother is going to join Coach P Live Mother Days edition as we talk about our journey together. Y'all don't want to miss this. I'm so excited. I asked her if she was willing to do it because it's been on my mind, but I was like, I don't think she's ready. I don't want to make her feel pressure to do it because, you know, she goes out of her way to do whatever I ask her to do, especially in this time and space. Our relationship wasn't always like that, but she goes out of her way to do whatever I ask her to do. And I knew if I asked her, she would do it, even if she didn't feel ready to do it. And so I didn't want her to do it if she wasn't ready. And so I will read y'all the text message exchange. And I was like, okay, God, Mother God is in the building. Because again, it's been on my mind, but I was like, I don't really know if she's ready. So I said, are you mentally ready to share some of our journey together publicly? I would like for you to join me tomorrow for Mother's Day as I conclude, but only if you're ready. If you're not ready, it is perfectly okay. And she said, I mean, she literally responded within the same seconds that I sent it. It's like she had it ready, like she's been thinking about it too. But she said, yes, indeed, it's time and I'm ready, heart, heart, heart. And so I am overjoyed. I am overjoyed by the opportunity to have this conversation publicly with her. I am overjoyed, excited, and to her point, ready. So it's definitely one that you don't want to miss. I intentionally don't tag her in any of the pictures that I post in this group because our story is so complex that I don't want people reaching out to her, sending her friend requests to try to like peep into her life. I want to give her that privacy. But the fact that she's gonna come on with me tomorrow is a game changer. So I'm excited about that. And y'all, you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. So, and I want y'all to show up because I want her to receive as much love and affection for tomorrow as we unfold our story and tell, our journey with you guys. And the reason why I wanted her to do this with me as I conclude this series, we're concluding the series today, but as we, put a bow on it tomorrow is because, my brother Courtney, he said this to me this morning. He said, people need to see that the work is possible, basically. People need to see what it looks like for the work to be done. He said that to me this morning. I'm paraphrasing, but it was to that effect. And I agree with him 100%. And I think her being able to journey differently, but still alongside me, and then us talk about it publicly is a game changer. And so her being able to share her side of it. I think will really share her perspective of it. I think, because I don't want to say side as if we have two different recollections, but share her perspective of it is really important for people who may not be able to hear their mother, or father or whoever say, and definitely we're talking about mothers, allow their mother to say some of the stuff that she'll share and that she shared with me behind closed doors that y'all will be able to hear as we continue to grow and mend. We still have a journey to go. We're still figuring out what fits for us. What I can tell y'all is that our relationship is not traditional. And it never has been, even though we've tried to force it. Both of us have. It is not traditional, and nor should it be. Our upbringing isn't traditional. She jokingly said yesterday, like, we were both kids, like, we were both, she said, the only difference is you were a baby and I was a teenager. And I was like, wow, Ma, that's true. Like, you were a teenager and I was a baby. She said, but we were both kids, we were raising each other. And so, and she said, mostly you were raising me. and that is true, which is why it's important for the boundaries and those type of things to happen, because it gives you an opportunity to really sit in your rightful place, even if your mom is not ready to sit in mother place. Because my mom still, in a lot of ways, isn't ready to be the mother that I need, but I am the mother that I need. I'm that mother to Brittany, so I definitely can be that mother to myself. And that is a part of my self-love practice. That's the parenting, the reparenting, right? The mothering of the inner child that I talked about.